When Everton visited Highbury in May 2005, they came across an Arsenal side reflecting on a near miss in the title race. With 2 games remaining, Chelsea had already been crowned champions, with the Gunners having to settle for second place. Everton had lost 4-1 to Arsenal at the start of the season, but were still on course for 4th position after a magnificent campaign. Sol Campbell returned for the home side after 3 months on the sidelines. Edu was saying farewell to Highbury. Dennis Bergkamp had yet to be offered a new contract. Thierry Henry, so often Arsenal's creative genius, was named as a substitute. For Everton, Richard Wright was favoured in goal ahead of first-choice Nigel Martin. Alessandro Pistoni returned in defence, and there were also starts for James McFadden and James Beattie. David Moyes had exceeded expectations by guiding Everton into 4th spot. Could they hang on to it? Commentary from Paul Walsh and Martin Tyler.
So will this be the last time we'll see Dennis Bergkamp playing for Arsenal at Highbury? Some doubt. There's a good sprinkling of these players who are out of contract with David Moyes in the Everton ranks, like Steve Watson. His versatility is being used again here as a central midfield player, having been filling in at left back with Pistoni out and Naismith also on the injured list. It's Watson. Arteta taking it on. It's a chance for Everton. Oh, and the midfield man could have given them a very early lead here.
Well, it's certainly a fantastic chance at this stage of the game. Good ball slid through from Steve Watson.
Van Persie. Perez on the right. Lauren further wide. Here's Vieira. Edu. Bergkamp.
Dennis Bergkamp just getting it in a tight position. Arsenal being patient, keeping the ball well. There's Edu, just slips it into Bergkamp. He's surrounded by blue shirts, but he doesn't need a lot of room to operate. He's just trying to work it onto his right side, just going for that curler into the far corner.
McFadden, left-footed but starting on the right. Here's Bergkamp, able to make plenty of ground. He squeezed it through to Van Persie. And it's a case of double Dutch, and it certainly confused Everton. Bergkamp, the old master, Van Persie, the pupil. 1-0 Arsenal.
Well, you say the old master, and that's without a doubt. When he sees these passes so quickly, when he steps inside, the timing of the run, the timing of the pass, superb. You see Pistoni there, he's not sure whether to come up, stay, go with the runner, gets caught in 2 minds, and he plays Van Persie onside. But it's just that little spot, that delicateness of the pass, just makes it easy for Van Persie to slot it into the back of the net.
One thing that they might be struggling to change is their record here at Highbury. They've lost their last 8 to Arsenal in the league. They were also beaten here by a pretty youthful Arsenal side in the Carling Cup earlier this season. Whenever to put out their senior men. They're backpedaling again. Reyes, Van Persie, here's Pires. Great stop by Wright. Pires with the header. In. Underside of the bar and in. 2-0.
Well, who was the architect of that all over again? Dennis Bergkamp, that man in your picture there. A great ball inside the fullback to Reyes. He tried to pull it back for Van Persie. He just pulled it back that little bit too far for him. But Pires back in the play up here. You see the pass. Just timing his run perfectly again. I think it's David Weir just playing him onside. Looks up, plays it back. There's Van Persie looking for it. There's Pires coming in. A good save from Wright. But he doesn't parry it away from goal. He parries it back out centre of goals. And Pires just cushion headers it back over the top. Hits the underside of the bar and back in for 2-0. Just feel that maybe Richard Wright could have done a little better there. Well, it's a decent save. It's a comfortable height. I just feel that he may have been able to push that away from the danger area.
Bergkamp has given the ball away this time, or been responsible for making it difficult for Vieira. And again, a pretty tame shot from Beattie this time, and Everton could really be 2-2.
Yeah, I mean, Arteta again just sliding Beattie in. It's not a bad first touch inside of Campbell. being 2 down, and you know they've got to at some stage try and score a goal, you'd think, to try and make a game of it, and that's when Arsenal could well pick them off and get a third.
Edu. Already the crowd in the Ole mood. Edu seems to be destined for the land of the Oles, with Valencia perhaps the most likely move for him. Van Persie.
Yeah, once he stepped inside on that left foot, one thing in his mind, to curl that into that far corner. Just by going for that extra little bit of pace on the ball, a little bit of accuracy went away with it. One thing in his mind, just to whip that into that far post.
Hibbert. Kilban trying to get away. It's a momentary piece of hesitation by Senderos. He got there just about in time. And then it's given away by Vieira. And Arteta has the shot. There's a deflection on it. And Everton have a corner.
Yeah, a little bit of sloppy play from Arsenal. Patrick Vieira giving the ball away. Arteta thinking, why shouldn't I take this shot on?
Vieira. More work for Richard Wright. Lovely Arsenal football once more.
Yeah, it's a great early pass from Patrick Vieira. Just maybe thought Van Persie might have opened his body up and tried to take it on in his left foot, taking it away from the defender. Still getting a shot off on target.
Edu. Vieira. Edu. Everton having got it. Give it back to Arsenal, and reclaiming it another time might take a bit of doing. Vieira. Bergkamp. Reyes. Couldn't see a path for the shot. But Ashley Cole suddenly emerging on the scene. An attacking force, as well as a much better left-back defensively than when he first got into the team.
Yeah, it's an eye of a needle pass, but it nearly comes off.
Pistone. Watson. Comfortable for Lehmann. Vieira. It's another perfect pass from Arsenal. Reyes. Perez just waiting to make a move, try and find an angle. Edu lets it run. Vieira lines it up.
Superb, I love it. I love watching it when they're playing in this mood, Arsenal. Reyes steps in, just sets it onto Edu, just leaves it at the last minute. Vieira strides onto it. It's a great shot, and that's fractions wide.
Well, it's been very hard work for Everton to this point. The bad news is there's another hour to go. Lauren. Just over 10 minutes left in the first half. A first half that Arsenal very quickly came to grips with. Cole. Good work by Hibbert. And again, Arsenal so easy on the eye and so difficult to defend against.
Yeah, it's just superb to watch. Patrick Vieira, another slide rule pass. Ashley Cole just running out of pitch.
Perez. Almost from Edu's pass. Reyes just had to restrict the run a little bit in case he went offside.
Well, I actually thought he was thinking about the goalkeeper more than anything there, Reyes. I think he didn't know where the goalkeeper was. And I just thought he didn't fancy a 50-50 or getting a clump that he couldn't see coming. Because I thought the ball was a perfect ball.
Mind you, he's had a few clumps, hasn't he?
Well, yeah.
He's probably one of the toughest players around. And he's been given the treatment, or Plenty of opponents have tried to give him the treatment, Jose Antonio Reyes, but he usually comes back for more. Edu. And Percy, Bergkamp. Oh, and Arsenal have walked it in through Patrick Vieira. It's another beautiful goal here at Highbury for the home side.
I mean, what more can you say about Arsenal? It's just the movement, the weight of pass, the running off of the ball. Everything's there. And then you see Bergkamp set it off. There's Edu, steps inside. It's a great little set to Bergkamp. Great running off the ball from Patrick Vieira. And who better to be sliding you in other than Dennis Bergkamp? Tremendous, absolutely sublime football. And what a finish to go with it. I mean, it's like the Harlem Globetrotters I described Arsenal in the first half against Liverpool, and it's pretty similar stuff tonight.
Edu.
Yeah, luckily for Arsenal, we're in the comfort zone at the moment. There's no reason for any player to get heated in any way. Well, it's just been an exhibition of great football and great goals tonight from Arsenal. Great movement, great passing, great running off the ball.
How about a great free kick? Here's the scene set. And Percy. Well, Wright did well. Comes out to Reyes. Wright does well again. The first save was made with Pires right in front of him.
Yeah, Van Persie's a straight one, but Pires, as you say, just blocked out Richard Wright's view of it. And then Reyes hits a cracking shot in with his left foot, which is made all the harder by Steve Watson just going across the face of him as he makes the save.
Fabregas has made massive use of experience, much more experience than Arsenal would have expected that he would get this season.
Yeah, I mean, just 18, what a phenomenal season he's had. Flamini as well, made a great contribution.
And Freddie Ljungberg, who's not quite fit, he's had a hip problem. So Edu thinks he's surplus to requirements, but he's done his bit in a masterclass orchestrated by the Dutch master himself, Dennis Bergkamp. If it is going out at Highbury, it is with a bang. He set up the first for Van Persie. He set up the second for Robert Pires. He set up the third for Patrick Vieira. And it's been brilliant fare from Arsenal. Too strong for Everton, and they lead 3-0 at the break. And Everton, who've had this fantastic season, way beyond expectations, have just been put somewhat in their place here in North London. Quite similar to the first game of the season and that 4-1 Arsenal win at Goodison.
Yeah, they're irresistible, Arsenal, in the first half, and Yobo and Weir won't be too pleased seeing Thierry Henry on the pitch now, looking to get a bit of sharpness going in towards the last game of the season in the FA Cup final.
Here's Pistone. Robbed by Pires. Bergkamp trying to give Henry his first run. Oh, and Yobo, was he responsible in the end for Henry ending up on the ground? Alan Wiley thinks there was an element of doubt about that.
Well, he certainly doesn't get any of the ball, and he follows through and certainly takes Thierry Henry's legs. I mean, I'd like to have another look at it, but that's my first impression of that.
You can have another look at it now, Paul.
That's it. I mean, he shapes up to have the shot and then checks back inside. Certainly Yobo gets none of the ball. There is certainly some contact there. For me, that's a penalty.
Flamini coming to the end of his first season as an Arsenal player. He only played half a season with Marseille in their senior side. Bergkamp. Henry ran off Carsley, and it's presented. Another chance that's been tucked away by Pires. His second goal, 4-0 Arsenal.
Yeah, a little bit fortunate in the end how the ball actually fell for Robert Pires. But he's kept running towards the box, hoping that something might come from it, and he got just rewards for his little bit of luck and his run. Just as Thierry Henry goes to play it back, it takes a deflection off of Carsley, falls very nicely for Robert Pires. And now calls that, just sticks in with his left foot, no problem. There you see it. Just tucks it in nice and neatly with that left foot, but very fortunate in how it came to him. Arsenal now 4-0 up.
There's still a hunger out there. Lauren. Flamini. Bergkamp. Henry recognised the idea. If he is going out, he's going out in supreme style, Bergkamp.
Well, he sees him making that run, and there's just nothing Hibbert can do about it, because he knows he can't match Henry for pace, and Henry's already on the inside of him.
Fabregas. Everton labouring again, and Henry looking to be a maker here. What's going to come up with now? Oh, played it against Carsley, penalty against the arm of Lee Carsley. Alan Wiley pointed straight to the spot. He saw a movement from Carsley's arm.
No, it's never a penalty for me. I mean, he's like a yard away, and he's just flicked it up, and where's it? You know, he's trying to get his arm out of the way. And I think that's an awful decision. Absolutely awful. Talk about rubbing salt into the wounds. That's a poor decision.
Well, who are they going to give it to? Chelsea gave one to Makalele, and it's going to be a farewell present. This is done by committee. Edu playing his last home game for Arsenal Football Club is summoned to deliver from the penalty spot. Oh, it's just by the goalkeeper, and it is 5-0. And the committee are pleased for the scorer.
Well, they wanted him. They know he's leaving at the end of the season, and you can see what the players think of Edu. He probably felt under a lot of pressure there, because he wanted to score it. I tell you, Richard Wright's got down, he's got his left hand to it. And once he got there, Richard Wright, you feel maybe he will feel that maybe he should have saved it. But he just doesn't get quite enough on it and pushes it into the side netting.
That's your leaving present. Oh, well, it's Bergkamp who's closed it down, who's taken it down! And there's his moment. And it's fully deserved. And it's 6 for Arsenal.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. I'm so pleased for him. You can see what the players feel as well. I mean, I'm not sure, is it 10 years that Bergkamp's been at the club? 10 years, been a great servant, been a fantastic player on the world stage and in the Premiership. Bit fortunate really how it comes for him, but he gets it down. The ball goes slightly behind him, so he has to readjust his body position. Richard Wright thinks about it, stays his ground. He just steers it in that bottom corner with his left foot. He knows it's an opportunity. He can keep it low. And that's a great sight for Dennis Bergkamp, seeing that nestling in the back of the net.
And here's Henry, who's probably just on the periphery of this extraordinary evening to this point. Oof. Not far away from a 7th.
It's great when you're in this position. Final home game of the season, really been able to enjoy your football. And Reyes, everyone's expecting him to come back in on his left foot, decides to take it reasonably early. Great skill there from Thierry Henry to get himself into that position and that space.
Here's Cole. It's Hibbert sliding in. Ashley Cole again. Been a long evening from Everton's point of view, but it's been all too quick for football lovers because Arsenal have shown such style. The skill and the will. They've hardly slackened. You've just pinpointed a couple of points in the match, Paul, haven't you, when the passing didn't quite carry the pace, but here they come again. Henri, Fabregas, and it's a Flamini who gets in on the act, and it's 7.
Well, you know, I thought they were very good on Sunday, but they've surpassed that tonight. Maybe the opposition, knowing that they're in the 4th Champions League spot and comfortable and can't be caught, have maybe just taken their foot off the gas, but they've been no match for Arsenal all night. Thierry Henry shapes up like he's going inside. Great drifting ball to that far post. Great pull back from Reyes. And there's Flamini just to add the finishing touches to make it 7.
His first Arsenal goal. Fabregas went to the near post, Reyes round the back, and in the middle came Mathieu Flamini. It's party time.
Yeah, it certainly is. Smiles on all the players' faces now. They're really enjoying the evening. And it's a great show for the fans as well in the final home game. A little bit embarrassing for Everton at the same time.
Bent. Ferguson. Kilban flying in. Steve Watson. Here's Henri, but not for long. Flag was up. Now, I'm old enough to remember this. In North London, where Everton lost 10-4 to Tottenham in 1958. A 6-goal margin. Made a bit of history. Well, maybe they can cut it back to 6 if Duncan Ferguson's little chip here drops in, but it doesn't. They've had 1 or 2 sightings of goal at the beginning. 0-0. You almost forget it when Arteta's soft shot could have given Everton a better start. Arsenal still have a few seconds left in which to improve this even further. Where Everton have been just in the wrong place at the wrong time is that Arsene Wenger, as I said right at the start, picked his team on the back of that result last night where he didn't really have to play for the extra point. He said, right, I need Campbell to play. And he's gone out and got 90 minutes under his belt. Edu, we know, is leaving, and he had the chance to play because Gilberto was injured. He wanted to keep the tempo up, and of course we've gone on and on about Dennis Bergkamp's situation. And add to that to everybody else on top of their game. Irresistible.
Yeah, I think the real important one for me is Thierry Henry, though, coming back, getting his 45 minutes in and getting back to that match hardness, if you like, ready for Manchester United in the FA Cup final.
All right. And Richard Wright's made some good saves. We shouldn't forget that. Otherwise, we could easily have been talking about double figures. But 7 is more than satisfactory. It's absolutely splendid in truth. Quite a home finale for the team put together by this sophisticated coach. Arsenal 7, Everton 0.